Let's get the volume on. Hey there, Coastal Bend meteorologist Carly Smith here. We are talking the tropics, and the volume is working now. So yeah, we're talking about the tropics. They're starting to get active. This is expected to be an active hurricane season, which does go all the way to November 30th. So we're going to try to do these updates periodically at 10 a.m., especially if there's any development or any named storm, because the National Hurricane Center will release the latest updates on their interest, especially once it's named as a tropical storm or a hurricane at 10 a.m. So we'll get the latest information out live as soon as possible when that comes. Right now, we are not looking at any named systems in the tropics, but we do have several areas of possible development. So we've got a 20% chance in the southwestern Gulf of Mexico and additionally in the Atlantic. The area impacting Florida, not going to be a threat to Texas. The one in the southwestern Gulf of Mexico that has a 20% chance of development, just released by the National Hurricane Center this morning, that is the area we're keeping an eye on. Now, overall, it doesn't look like we're going to get any major impacts out of this system, but what we are going to see is a pattern shift next week that is going to increase rain with tropical moisture. And so if you've been watching 3 News from any of our team of meteorologists, you've seen this map a lot. So overall, let's see, I haven't saved the version where I drew on the tropical moisture, but essentially what we are going to get is this tropical moisture plume coming up. So this does have a chance for a little spin up activity. So you do see the low pressure starting to form. The National Hurricane Center is suggesting that it's a broad area of low pressure that develops in the southwestern Gulf. This model and a lot of the ensembles, which you can go to KIII.com and check out the hurricane tab for the latest information, but a lot of the ensembles do keep it kind of hanging out there in the southwestern Gulf and slowly drifting more west into Mexico. But what we see is the moisture increasing here in South Texas. Something else that I'm keeping an eye on is going to be how our wave actions our waves react. And so what you see here is our beaches have been pretty flat the last few days. Well, not totally flat, but waves have been around 1 to 2 feet. So you see in this wave forecast, this is a forecast model, just like when we're showing rain and other things. What you see here is we still have light winds and small waves. Our winds stay relatively light, but the wave action starts to pick up Saturday and Sunday. That's going to be 2 parts associated with that. Essentially, what we are going to notice is as that high pressure sets up over the southeastern United States, and we see really a high pressure kind of building over the Pacific, but overall, this pattern, what's going on is it's going to amplify wind that's flowing all the way across the Caribbean Sea and across the Gulf of Mexico and then to our beaches. So the longer that swell has to travel, the wind kind of pushes the wave action or that swell, the longer time it has to build and grow. And so with this setup, with the tropical moisture being pushed into our area, we're going to naturally see that. Now you start to notice kind of that that broad low trying to show up as we head into Monday, and then that also amplifies the swell that would be pushed into Texas beaches. So anywhere from Galveston down to South Padre Island, likely we're going to see some high surf, and additionally, dangerous rip currents start to develop. So if you haven't watched our hurricane special, this is a great time to do so. You can just go to YouTube and type Hurricane Special 2024 in, KIII, and it should pull up with that easy search. I'll try to post some links when I'm done with this Facebook Live as well in the comments section, but that talks about how there's been a transition between fatalities from tropical systems. So storm surge fatalities has gone down over the last 10 years, but the rip current and high surf related fatalities has gone up. And that's what we are looking at being a threat to our Texas beaches. Again, anywhere from South Padre to Galveston and even into Louisiana as we look ahead to Monday and then additionally Tuesday, as we see these longer or these higher waves in combination with longer periods. Right now, the period forecast is about 8-9 seconds, which still isn't long, but it's long for our beaches. And the longer that period is and the higher the waves are, the stronger that rip current is going to be to take that water back out to sea from those higher waves rolling in. So Not the best beach weekend coming up. Saturday, not a bad day. Sunday, we get a little bit more dangerous. And then Monday and Tuesday, so early next week, is when that high surf risk and the rip current risk, the dangerous rip current risk, really starts to go up. So that's what we are watching in terms of we're going to get more rainfall. In fact, I'm going a little conservative on how much rain we see. It likely will be closer to the coast, higher amounts. Inland, maybe not as much, but those that do see the tropical storms develop, or not the tropical storms, but the tropical rainfall, the storms associated with the tropical moisture, it is going to dump some heavy rainfall in spots. So it's going to kind of still be spotty on who sees the most rain, but overall, I'm going conservative with scattered, but that will likely trend up as we continue into next week and we start to see how much moisture really sets up in the coastal bend. Let's see what else is important to note when it comes to this forecast. Basically, what you need to know, is the pattern is shaping up for some action, wave action next week and also rain action next week. It doesn't look like we're going to get, again, like a direct impact from anything that is set to develop. Right now, it looks like at least a broad low, not expecting anything super strong. But so marine forecast for today, we're keeping the light wind. That's great. However, with the moisture that we have in place today and stronger winds aloft, that is going to lead to another chance for some of those tropical funnels to develop. And if they reach the ground, they would be water spouts and cause some hazardous conditions out at sea. So in your marine forecast for today, now this is going to ramp up heading into next week. Offshore fishing might not be the best time to do that Monday and Tuesday of next week. Even Sunday, we start to see some of those offshore swells getting pretty high, but definitely going to be some rough seas out there Monday, Tuesday into Wednesday. Smooth conditions though for now. Packery Channel is heating up, 90 degrees, the latest temperature reading there. So high tide coming up at 10:34 for Bob Hall Pier, Port Aransas 10:41. So tropical funnels are still possible today. That's the last thing I want to take away from this is that we still have a chance for that tropical funnel to develop, and here is how that happens. So we get faster winds aloft and slower winds at the surface. That creates a horizontal rotating column of air. This happens all the time naturally in our atmosphere. You never really know it because we need something that stretches that column north and south, or essentially vertical, right? That typically is heat. Heat will do that. That's why sometimes on sunny days, you see the dust devils develop because there's a rotating column of air closer to the surface, and then the heat lifts that up, and you get the dust devil that forms without a cloud, right? But these are forming more in the clouds. You get the faster winds where the clouds are developing, and then you get that rotating tube of air. With a combination of heat and a storm updraft developing, that gets stretched vertical, and then you get the tropical funnel that develops. So it's relatively weak, short-lived, rarely reaches the ground, and it's only a funnel unless it touches the ground. It's common in the warm, humid months, which we are definitely experiencing right now. So here's the latest look at radar before we go. So the time now is 10:15. If it will load. I think another important thing to take away is, especially throughout tropical or hurricane season, these 10 a.m. updates will become a little bit more important if and when a storm does especially get a name, because we'll get cone updates and things like that right at 10 a.m. and we'll be live with the latest information. So this will be the fastest way to get it. So bookmark on your Roku, your Apple TV, those devices. You can watch it live on your TV, big screen, versus like little tiny on your phone on Facebook. That'll be around 10 a.m., especially if there is a named system. I don't know why the radar is not loading. So we're gonna just take a look at the comments. A lot of thank you. I appreciate y'all. A lot of you are saying thank you for the update. Thank you for watching. And hopefully everyone stays safe and is prepared for, what's to be an active season. That doesn't mean the Gulf of Mexico is going to see all the action, but right now it definitely is starting to see some development with that 20% chance around Florida, but it's going to, if it does strengthen, it will be in the Atlantic. So, and then of course the Southwest Gulf system. But right now, here's a look at radar. These are just some spotty storms that have developed, especially in between San Antonio and Matagorda Bay. That's kind of the hot spot this morning. We're starting to see activity kind of weaken on land, but it will ramp back up again this afternoon. And again, those tropical funnels are going to be possible. So this is the latest as of 10:16. When we take a look at Futurecast, here is what that is showing in terms of that development. So around noon, we may see some spotty showers develop a little bit more inland when we get a little bit of help from the sea breeze, and then all of that action decreases with the lack of the sun and daytime heating. Then Thursday morning, we could see a few spotty showers pop up, especially along the coast and then inland into Thursday afternoon. But all of this is very spotty. These rain chances ramp up with the additional tropical moisture again Monday and Tuesday. So here's a look at that 7-day forecast, and we'll leave it on that if it loads. Don't forget to check out my social media pages. Carly Smith WX is how you search there. Hope to see you there and interact some. But yeah, overall a great weekend. Rain chances do start to go up on Sunday. We still have dangerous heat index values as well. They'll be around 110. No heat alerts today, no heat advisory, but it's going to be around 107 to 109 for your heat index, especially in Corpus Christi. So that's going to do it. Make sure you share this with your friends and family to keep them aware as well as what's going on in the tropics especially. But for now, I'm signing off. Meteorologist Carly Smith with 3 News. Thanks for watching.